I got to say about crude oil is, man, I really don't have a strong view, a strong conviction one way or the other. Man, I got my preferences, but man, it's a little tricky right here. And looking at the long zoomed out view, the long time frame view from an LA wave point of view, it's kind of like this is the way I prefer to look at it, where we've already had another 1-2, and that the recent high at 130.50 was like a wave 3, and that now we're in the process of completing a wave 4, or maybe it's even already completed. But, as I say this and present this kind of view, it's also, I'm aware that if it is something a little different, like it's always a question of degree. Which degree are you in? So it's kind of like, well, what if this top that we just had at 130.50 was actually something like this, which is like the whole entire structure off of those lows back, in March 2 years ago. If that whole structure is now complete, like the one big long 5-wave impulse higher, then that just means that the correction would be much more likely that you're going to see something like deeper, more meaningful. Well, there's a big difference between a correction either is already done at 94 and whatever this low. There's a big difference between 94 and, 74, $20 or $20,000 per contract. So that's, I can't just trade on this, right? That's rough. And those are two very different ideas in terms of where this would pull back. So then, as I was saying, though, my bias feeling, whatever, is that this was a 3, and that now we're trying to figure out where the 4 is. So if I zoom in, get a little micro here. This is a 15-minute chart. Here's that little double bottom that may or may not be the bottom. For a wave 4, it certainly is in an acceptable area for a wave 4, a little deep, but that could be it. But then when I think about the structure of this thing since the high, I mean, this is some kind of an impulse. So, right, this is clearly some kind of an impulse down. So why can't that be an A wave? And then this move is very overlapping, right? Boom, 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 boom. Like came up, nice bounce, then it came down and made a low. Then it made a lower high, then it made a lower low, then it just chopped, and then it made a new high, but then it gave it all back eventually. So I could say this is an A, this is a B, and then now, because of just what I see here late last week, maybe this is finishing off a C, a larger ABC correction for wave 4. And this is this would be wave 5 of C of 4. And if that's the case, it needs to come down lower. Okay, so A, B, and then this whole thing is a C wave now. Like we're already in the C wave. Maybe. Totally could be wrong because I don't have high conviction. So that's just what I'm saying. And the way this would play out now is if this is maybe 1, 2, it's possible that you're going to see a 5-wave move to finish off wave 5, make a, nominal newer low to complete wave 4. That's what I'm guessing. That's my guess. And then if you look at, there's no squeeze set up on any time frame, right? The little 5-minute squeezes come and go, but without the support of a larger time frame squeeze, I don't have very much conviction one way or the other. There just aren't any squeezes right now. Okay, so unfortunately, that's not helping. So what does Strat say? Okay, Strat monthly, totally bullish. Bull City off of that $61 low-ish, $62 low, nothing but Bull City. But look at the wick on this monthly. A lot of guys that's a topping candle. That's the kind of candle you see at the top. So then you look at the weekly. Yeah, the weekly, but guess what? The weekly also has a giant wick to the downside. It came way back up. But that is what I'm saying could be more like this is the 5 wave move down to finish off the correction, the 5 wave move of C. Um, and that's what that long skinny wick is all about. So then you come down and you look at the daily, and it's kind of the same thing, right? You have this 212 bullish reversal. This is strat speak. Two on the daily, 212 bullish reversal. Once it broke the top of Wednesday's high, boom, bulls are saying, yep, bottom is in, we're going higher. And that these targets are all these tops of these other candles over here. But the thing is, the next day, Friday, after this beautiful run up on Thursday, it made a new high barely, just poked above, and then it just came back and it's been chopping. So what I like to do as a rule is put a box around the daily range and then find the 50% level, not because it's a trigger or it's a signal, but it just gives me context. So then I take that level and I put it on the lower time frames just so I have context when I'm looking at a 15-minute chart or even a 1-hour chart or a 5-minute chart. I know where the 50% level of the previous candle, daily candle, is, because that level just gives you some context when you're looking at these smaller time frames. So that's the deal. In short, if I'm right about this needing one more low, then this should not tonight at the open for futures. It should not come up here and start making a new high. I'm talking micro. So, if it does come up and start making a new high, that could mean maybe that this is just an A wave here, and that if it comes up directly and goes higher tonight at the open, maybe this just is still some kind of a B wave. Because this doesn't look like a 1-2. But if folks who are bullish that think this is the bottom, which it sure could be, but just structurally, I don't know, this doesn't really look like a 5-wave move up for one. This isn't really a clean corrective wave. If that is for a wave 2, that, I don't know, maybe that could be a wave 2 just because it's an overlapping correct. To me, it's obviously overlapping and corrective. But this does this look impulsive? This almost looks like a 3-wave move, doesn't it? Off of this double bottom, ABC for an A. Another could be just a bunch of 3 overlapping crap. This is corrective, except for this. Well, maybe that's because this is a C wave. Could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And maybe I'm just talking myself into this. Well, I've already taken a short position with USO puts. I'm not trading futures. I took a small USO put position that expires Friday because I'm trading this. And I'm not saying I have low conviction, which is why I'm small and which is why I'm USO puts. Forget the margin. Forget the volatility. Just it's either going to work or it's not. I considered not even taking a trade, just staying out of it, which honestly, that probably would have been the smarter move. Just stay out of it. But I took a tiny position in USO puts, very small, and we'll see. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. I really don't have a setup. LA Wave is kind of like, I don't know. The squeeze method is nowhere to be found here. And the strat method is always good because if you do have to trade, like if you're just compelled to take a trade, looking at this short-term stuff, it's already triggered a short trade, all right? And very, very micro, but I'm just saying, if you had to do a scalp tonight, watch this box. I put a box around the hourly price candle. That's the purple box. And just real micro, right now it's coming down inside of that box. Of course, at the open, anything could happen, but the idea is if you're short, you're going to want to see this come down here and take out the bottom of this box. That's like the very, very first step, which would also get you in the bottom half of Friday's daily candle. So that's, nothing scientific here, nothing sophisticated, just simple price action. If you're short, you don't want to see this come back up and get above the top of this box. You want to just see this come down. And because, if it's a 1-2 setup for wave 5, then it can't go too much higher, or this is just turning into something else. And honestly, it makes me think it's a B wave if it just wants to keep going higher directly, because structurally it just doesn't look like a clean impulse. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. It's not much. I debated whether even to make a video because I'm not really saying anything. I'm just kind of kicking around these potentials, which are all kind of different. They're all wildly different. That's it. That's all I got. All right, man. Good luck to you guys. I wish I could be on at the Open, but I will be tuning in later after that to see what happened to this region right here. Okay, guys. See ya. Bye-bye.